Complementary opposite, Leonardo's legacy. Leonardo was a polymath of the Renaissance. He focused on the human being. The Vitruvian Man is an example of this vision. He also demonstrated the relationship between human beings, particularly in the painting, The Last Supper, an iconic work with the postures and gestures of the 12 apostles. It allows for various interpretations. This masterpiece is located in the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Italy. It was painted between 1495 and 1498. The technique used was tempera, mixed with oil paint on a dry plaster base, which caused the painting to deteriorate quickly. The initial sketches of the characters in The Last Supper are rare and valuable, serving as historical records of Leonardo's creative process. In The Last Supper, during this biblical moment, Jesus gathers his 12 apostles and announces that one of them will betray him. This unexpected declaration caused reactions among the apostles of surprise, indignation, doubt, and sorrow. At the center of the composition is Christ without an aura, serene and isolated. He symbolizes his acceptance of fate. Beside him are 6 apostles on each side, arranged in groups of 3. There is an intriguing symbolic association between the apostles and the signs of the zodiac. Complementary opposites mean that the apostles on one side complement their opposites on the other side of Christ. In this conception, there are 6 axes formed by 2 opposing apostles who complement each other. Additionally, there is a 7th central axis that unites all 6 axes, represented by Jesus Christ. First axis, Simon, Aries, and John, Libra. Simon, his verb is I am. With the energy of his head, he makes decisions in search of truth and independence. With his hands, he points the way forward. However, he must learn to yield through balance. John, his verb is I ponder. He coordinates the search for harmony, justice, and its consequences. With his crossed hands, he indicates calm through balance, but needs energy in his actions. Second axis, Jude Thaddeus, Taurus, and Judas Iscariot, Scorpio. Jude Thaddeus, his verb is I have. Persistent, resilient, dedicated, and a doer. With his hands, he accepts Aries' command. However, he needs to impose himself to achieve transformation and renewal. Judas Iscariot, his verb is I desire. He lives intensely. As the sign of endings, he is focused on transmutation and rebirth. With one hand, he shows decisiveness, while with the other, he holds the bag of money. He was the community's administrator. Dedicated and tenacious, he seeks to dominate. Third axis, Matthew, Gemini, and Peter, Sagittarius. Matthew, his verb is I think. His interests and observations expand possibilities. With his hands pointing one way and his head the other, he must seek a defined goal. Matthew is Christ's chronicler. Peter, his verb is I observe, a sign of law, religion, and philosophy. He enjoys challenges and freedom. One of his hands holds a knife, representing the beast within man, while the finger of his other hand points to Christ, seeking the divine. Fourth axis, Philip, Cancer, and Andrew, Capricorn. Philip, his verb is I feel. He has the sensitivity to follow his own path. His hands with a come to me gesture express the internalization of faith. He represents the maternal sign, demonstrating receptivity to the environment and people with a protective nature. Andrew, his verb is I do. He moves through the present with ambition, slow and determined persistence. His dry hands with prominent joints express a cold, stay away from me, seeking distance for reflection. Fifth axis, James the Lesser, Leo, and James the Greater, Aquarius. James the Lesser, his verb is I want. His brilliance, charisma, discipline, expansion, creativity, and organization are his characteristics. With his arms open, he seeks to protect Christ from everything and everyone. James the Greater, his verb is I know. He knows everything ahead of time and is ahead of his era. With quick reasoning, he finds original solutions, sometimes through sheer intuition. One of his hands rests on Andrew's shoulder, while the other reaches out to Peter, demonstrating Aquarian restlessness. Sixth axis, Thomas Virgo and Bartholomew Pisces. Thomas, his verb is I analyze. Anxious and restless, he seeks knowledge and analyzes flaws. An anxious reformer, he must not be distressed by minor details, but should focus on larger goals. He raises his finger, even in front of Christ, as a perfectionist striving to overcome himself. He embodies a nature in constant motion. Bartholomew, his verb is I believe. The calm expression on his face reflects his broad vision of the table, seeking to understand the reason for everything and everyone. He closes a circle that renews itself as the essence of life. He confronts reality even when it wounds his sensitivity. Seventh axis, Jesus Christ. Jesus represents the central axis that connects and transcends the six axes formed by the apostles. He belongs to no specific sign as he embodies unity and universal spirituality. The verbs that define the signs reveal the attitudes and personalities of those born under each sign. They serve as powerful metaphors, which only art can weave into its subtle narratives. It is likely that Leonardo's focus in The Last Supper was to explore spirituality, emotional dynamics, and artistic innovation. This modern vision of incorporating astrological symbolism acts as an embedded extension of the art, simultaneously revealing and concealing deeper truths.